Okay, so today for math class, we will be working with mixed numbers again. And what we'll be doing today is we'll be shading in shapes to show mixed numbers. So for example, here on our very first problem, I see that our mixed number is 1 and 1/2. So what we are going to do is we are going to shade these boxes in to show 1 and 1/2. So the very first thing I notice is each box or each rectangle is split into 2 equal parts. So the first thing we will do now is we are going to shade in and show 1. And 1 is our whole number. So what that tells us is that one whole rectangle, or both parts of it, will be shaded yellow. So one whole rectangle tells us 1, our whole number. So now we need to show 1/2. We know that the numerator tells us how many of the equal parts are shaded yellow. So we will shade in one of the parts of this rectangle. So now we have one whole rectangle shaded yellow and 1/2 of this other rectangle shaded yellow. And those combined tell us that 1 and 1/2 are shaded yellow. Moving on to this next problem, I see that our mixed number here is 1 3/4. Now I'm going to look at these two boxes or these two squares we have. I notice that each square is separated into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So we need to shade these in to show 1 3/4. So starting off with our whole number, which is 1, I am going to shade in one whole square because that will tell us 1, which is our whole number. And when you guys are completing your assignment, you will be dragging these boxes in too. So now we have all 4 of the equal parts shaded yellow, and that will show or tell us 1, because 1's our whole number, so one whole square is shaded yellow. So now we showed 1, we need to show 3/4. I know that 3 is our numerator, and the numerator tells us how many of the equal parts are shaded yellow. So in 3/4, 3 is our numerator, so 3 of these equal parts will be shaded yellow. Now that we have them shaded yellow, we have one whole box and 3 of the 4 equal parts shaded yellow. And those combined are 1 3/4. All right, so let's try a couple of these together before you guys work on your assignment. So our fraction or our mixed number for this problem is 1 3/5. I see there's 2 rectangles over here that we are going to be shading in to show 1 3/5. And each of the rectangles are split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. To show our whole number 1, how many of the 5 equal parts are we going to shade in on this first rectangle? We are going to shade in 5 of the 5 equal parts, or the entire rectangle. And when you shade the entire shape in, that tells you it is 1. So we're going to shade in all 5. And now to show 3/5 in this rectangle, how many of the 5 equal parts will we shade yellow to show 3/5? We will shade in 3 of the 5 equal parts to show 3/5. So 1, 2, 3. So now we have them all shaded in. we have one whole rectangle, which tells us 1, which is our whole number. And then we have 3 of the 5 equal parts shaded yellow, which tells us 3/5. And combined, it is 1 3/5. All right, so let's try one more by ourselves or one more together, and then we'll try some by ourselves in our homework assignments. So for this problem, we are going to be showing 2 3/8. I see there's 3 rectangles, and each rectangle is split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. So how many of this first rectangle, how many of the 8 equal parts will I be shading yellow? We will be shading 8 of the equal parts yellow. So now that we have all 8 of the 8 equal parts shaded yellow, we know this will be telling us it is 1. We need to show 2. So how many of these 8 equal parts will I be shading yellow? We already know this is 1. We need to get to 2. So how many of the 8 equal parts will be shaded yellow? 8 of the 8 equal parts will be shaded yellow. So now that we have 8 of the 8 equal parts shaded yellow, we have 8 of the 8 equal parts shaded yellow in this rectangle, we know that these two shapes, now that they're fully shaded yellow, that's going to tell us 2, which is our whole number. So now we need to show 3/8. So knowing we need to show 3/8, how many of the 8 equal parts will be shaded yellow in this rectangle to show 3/8? 3 equal parts will be shaded yellow. When we shade in 3 of the 8 equal parts, that tells us it is 3/8. So now all of these combined is 2 3/8. 2 full rectangles are shaded yellow, which tells us 2, and then 3 of the 8 equal parts are shaded yellow, which tells us it's our fraction 3/8. So now it's time for you guys to try some of these by yourself. These next 5 slides will be posted on Schoology, and I want you guys to open them up and then click and drag the shapes to show the mixed number. So for example, we will be showing 2 5/6. So you will be clicking and dragging these in to show 2 5/6. And if you have troubles remembering how to do that, you can always go back and rewatch the Edpuzzle or send Miss Fosberg or I an email. We can set up a Google Meet.